welcome to the beautiful Crystal Metro Parks Historic Farmstead. My name is Becky Vanderpool. I'm the Senior Manager of Park Connections, and today I'm standing in front of the Nature Playscape. If you haven't had a chance to come out and play here, it's a great place for kids of all ages to enjoy time on the farm. So I'm here today to share a topic that's something that I really look forward to this time of year. Are you ready to start harvesting some fresh produce from your garden in the summer months to come? I know I am. Now's the time to get some of those seeds started so that that fresh produce is ready when the season comes. Some things like peas and lettuce you can go ahead and put in your ground outside, but some other things like some herbs, zucchinis and cucumbers, it's just a little bit early to get started outside, but it's a great time to start those indoors. So I looked through my recycling bin and found some things that I can use to make some seed starter pots for those seeds so that I can grow them inside. And the best part about it is not only am I using recycled items, I'm also using things that are biodegradable, which means that when it comes time to put them in my garden, I can plant my seedlings, pot and all, right into the garden and not disturb any of the seedlings or the roots inside the little pots. So the first idea I want to bring to you today starts with using something most of us would have, and that is just the cardboard roll from inside of your paper towels. So when you finish your roll, save that cardboard from inside. You're going to cut it into 4 equal sections. And take one of those sections and cut 4 slits up the bottom. Kind of like you're cutting it on 4 corners if a circle had corners. And you take each of your slits or your cuts and fold them in. And kind of work those seams or those folds so that they stay tight. And you've got your itty bitty little pot. So here now I have 2 of them. So I'm going to use a spoon to fill those with potting soil, just because I didn't think a shovel would fit very well in the tiny little pots. So I'll start with my potting soil mix. Fill my pots. I think I'll put the zucchini in this method. Soil should be kind of pre-moistened before you add your seeds. And then I'm going to start with my zucchini. Because these plants get pretty big, I'm going to put just 1, maybe 2, I think I can do 2 seeds per pot. So I'll bury those in there. Add a little bit more potting soil just to cover the seeds on top. I'm going to move my pots into a container or a tray or something that's waterproof so that they can be kind of just left to sit still while your seeds germinate. And then I'll water them again. And once that's complete, if you were to fill your whole pot with your whole container all with different seeds in different pots, you'd want to put a lid on it. Find a warm, dry place or a warm sunny place in your house for it to kind of act like a greenhouse. Once your seeds have started to sprout, you can take the lid off and continue to leave it inside in a sunny spot. Continue to keep it watered until about 4 or 5 weeks from now when you're ready to put them outside. So the next version of a DIY seed starter pot I'm going to make for you today, and hope that you'll be able to do some of yours at home too, starts with a simple sheet of newspaper. Actually, 3 sheets of newspaper are best. And I'm going to take that sheet of newspaper, and the way it's lined up long ways, I'm going to cut it into 3 strips. So I'm going to start with 1 set of my newspaper strips. I grabbed a can from my pantry. In this case, it's a tomato paste can because it seems like they're about the right size. I'm going to start from the bottom of my newspaper, leaving about 1 inch or so off of the can, or not covered by the can, and just start to roll. And you want to roll it kind of loosely, or else you'll have trouble getting it off of the can. So after I have it rolled up, I'm going to turn it upside down, take the ends and just kind of start folding them in to form the base of my pot. It's okay if there's a hole there in the middle. That'll be a good spot for your roots to start to grow through. And then I can pull the can out, it's a little tight, and start to add my soil. Again, having it pre-moistened will Be good for the soil and the seeds. It's also going to kind of help your newspaper pot stay together as that newspaper gets wet. I'll start with some cucumber seeds. And again, these pots are a little bit bigger. I think I'm going to put 3 in each of them. Those are buried down in the soil. Add a little bit more on top. And just like with my paper towel rolls, I'll add them to the same container and add the lid. And then that lid is ready to act as my greenhouse. So there, my newspaper and my cardboard are both pretty saturated, and that's really kind of what you want to have happen. So the last idea I'm going to share today is actually using something that you may have after breakfast every morning if you happen to have eggs in the morning or any time of day. I'm going to use eggshells, and it's not really important to make sure that they are evenly broken. Of course, my top edges are pretty jagged, and that's okay, just as long as there's enough space for some soil to get dumped into. This option is really better for a smaller plant or smaller seeds, so I'm going to do some basil seeds in my eggshells. So again, there's my eggshell full of soil. I'm going to moisten it before I plant my seeds. And if I remember right from years past, basil seeds are pretty tiny. Let's see if I'm right. Yep, sure am. They're teeny tiny. So just with my fingertips, I'm going to sprinkle a couple of those in there. Stick into my fingers, and we'll see what grows. I'm gonna add a little bit more soil on top just to cover them up. Again, spritz that soil so it's good and wet. And then when it comes time to plant your eggs and your eggshell pots into the garden, just kind of crush the bottom of it to break the shell a little bit. Maybe pull off a few shards from the bottom to help your plant so that the roots can get through the shell easily. And then the shell becomes good nutrients for your garden. So there you have it, 3 different ways to start your seedlings inside. Will you try one, or will you try all 3? Or perhaps you have another method that I didn't think of. I'd love it if you would share it with us. So for other ways to log off, shut down, and get outside, visit the Metro Parks of Butler County website at yourmetroparks.net. Enjoy that produce.